program and control. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Good afternoon, everyone. This is the Business Zone with
Crystal
and Coach Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic. And today, folks, we're going to have an amazing show. We have a super guest that's going to be on our show today, and you guys are going to love her. My co-host, Crystal, how are you doing today?
I am tired this week.
I know you are. I know. Superwoman stuff would catch up with you, man.
Yeah, this is the second week for the kids, and on top of that, my tennis program, we had a great 3 days with a world-class coach that came in for 3 days for our kids. But
oh, you mean Gilbert Buchanan?
No, this is tennis coach.
Oh.
So that meant that all hands on deck, all staff had to be there. And so I had to leave from the morning kids to go to the afternoon kids.
Oh,
and
man.
That would go on to about 7 o'clock. So that was every day until yesterday. And then up at 6 o'clock every morning. And we did 2 field trips this week. We took the kids to JA Finance Park on Tuesday, and then we had a class on Wednesday and Thursday, and then today we went downtown to the alley so that they could do their shopping day.
You know, I haven't been down to that alley in a long time, man. Did they have some good stuff down there?
Yeah, they actually do. I mean, it was hot, so I wasn't. And when I was monitoring 6 kids, so it wasn't like I could take time to look.
You were having some Vegas kind of weather down there.
Yeah, it was warm down there, a little bit warm, and we were only down there for an hour. By the time we got from El Segundo all the way downtown Los Angeles, they had about an hour, which for the kids is fine because it's an experience in sale day, and sale day consists of them investing $40 into them, and then they taking that $40, using it to purchase their supplies, and then the goal is to use that money to buy their supplies and then sell it so that they can make a profit. So that's the whole purpose.
Sounds good.
Of sale day.
So they got introduced to the art of sales, huh?
Right. So on next week, they'll be getting, well, in addition to getting ready for the actual competition, they also will be getting ready for sale day, which is next Friday and Saturday. So they have to do their marketing and get their logo together and market it to their friends and family, and then and to the people at the school that we're at, and so hopefully they'll make a profit. The last class we had a child that made a $500 profit.
Oh wow, that's great. That must be really good for her ego, her emotions, her confidence, and everything, right?
So so it's part of the program. So, but we haven't really gotten into the full program because we had our field trips in the first week. But I will say this: we went to Finance Park, and this is the first time we've gone to JA Finance Park in the first week of the session. So they do budgeting at Finance Park.
Oh, okay,
so
great.
They learn how to
budget.
Yeah, so they give them a simulated scenario. They may have a family. They may be married with 2 children, 1 child. They may have a house, or they may have an apartment.
They got to pay some bills, huh?
They have to pay some bills. They may have a baby daddy that's not making any money. So the kids find out very early on that oh man, I'm not having children till I'm 30
Yeah,
or till
good.
I'm financially able to carry cake. And then some of them came up and said, oh my God, one little girl came up to me. She said, Miss Crystal, Miss Rhonda, do you guys have children? And we're like, no, why? Children are too expensive.
See, that's a great deterrent, man. We should gather up all the kids from high school and take them there through that program.
Exactly. I was on the floor. And one little girl came over. She goes, this is just too much. She was literally in tears. And she was like, I have no money. I have nothing. What? How do you live like this? How are you? I don't want to be an adult. I was crying. I was crying.
I love
So
it. I love it.
I told them, I said, so here's the thing. Are you guys going to go back and tell your parents that you're sorry for being mean to them? And are you going to, you're going to understand that when the money run out the last week of the month, you're going to understand why they're so testy.
are you gonna go around and start being good to your parents and nice, be a good kid? Yes.
Right, all of that. So I went around from table to table to ask them so far what was their takeaway. That was all of their takeaway. So we have which is unique in this particular session. We have a couple of young men that are football players, very handsome young men, being raised by their grandparent mother. Just really, these kids are really incredible. All of these kids. I have 29. There's 29 of them.
That's great.
And they said, oh, we wait until we're 30 to have kids. I don't care what that girl tells me. I'm not having no babies before college.
you should give him one page and tell him, okay, I want you to sign here that you're agreeing not to try to mess with any kids before 30. That would be good, man.
JA it's not for the weak. When it's the kids, they do an amazing job at really. So you come in, they give you a simulation, and then after they give you your budget and what you have. Then you go from station to station. You have to buy insurance. Yeah. You have to buy. You might have to go to the dentist. So as you're doing all of your must-haves and your needs.
Yeah.
So when you get done with your needs, then they go through and calculate whether you can buy a house. So one little girl's like, it won't let me buy. They're like, because you have no money. You can't afford. You don't qualify. She was like, what do you mean?
I love it. I love it. I love it. See, these kids, man, it sounds like what they're learning. You know, some of our adult entrepreneurs could learn some of that too, you know.
Oh, for sure.
It keeps them focused, man. It keeps them focused.
Because most people, and that's what the kids were saying, they don't teach us this in school.
Yeah.
How do you guys? I said they didn't teach. No one learned this in school, so that's why so many people have problems with money because they never learned how it really works and what you know what are the must-haves, the things that you're supposed to have. You take care of your rent, you take care of your fuel, you take care of you may not be able to have a car, but for sure there was a number of girls said I was doing okay, but look, Miss Crystal, my husband, he don't make no money. I said, then you got a baby daddy that you need to kick out. Because if he ain't making no money, you don't need to have him as a husband.
I love it. I love it. I love it, man. Crystal, I think you should incorporate this in your training program with your entrepreneurs, man. Because
I know,
because this will really give a lot of them a wake-up call. Because a lot of them want to take out big loans in the business, and they're not ready for loans yet, and they can't understand why we don't want to give them loans. So this would be really a great exercise for that.
I agree. And so next morning, after we came away, that we came back to class, so I said, so now let me explain how you can change the scenario. So if everyone should go to college, and probably everyone should spend at least 5 years in corporate America. But know that your earning capacity is limited by that 3% increase that you're going to get once a year, right? Yeah, possibly, depending on the company. Once you do that, here you got to take out a minimum 26% for your taxes. So let's say you made $60,000, $5,000 a month, take out your 26%. You're probably gonna come away with less than 4,000, maybe just under 4,000. Now we got rent at 1,700. We got this. I said, and I know that, and their faces were being crushed some more, right?
Yeah.
And I said, but there's a silver lining. And they're like, what is it, Miss Crystal? To be an entrepreneur and be able to make as much money as you want. So, because you control your destiny. And they're like, okay, we ready, Miss Crystal, we're ready.
I love
So
it.
that was the highlight of my week. And so it really helped focus them when we got to talking about what type of businesses. I said, and you don't want no weak Nancy Pansy business that's only gonna make you $50,000 or $40,000. You need a real business that you can scale, that in at least the first 5 years you can get up to that $100,000 or $200,000 marker.
Yeah.
And I said, and guess what, guys? As an employee, you have no deductions.
Yeah.
As an entrepreneur, you have all the deductions in the world.
There you
So
go.
they were all excited.
See, man, I'm telling you, co-host, we got to develop a similar program for you, man, that you can present to your entrepreneurs, because this, like Fernando said, this is a great reality check, man, for entrepreneurs. So this will be great.
Yeah, it was. It was a really great. It was fun this week, and then this week we went down to the alley. So now the money is making a big difference. They went home and had conversations with their parents. Some kids felt really bad for their parents. Some kids said, one kid told me, "I don't feel bad for my mother and my father. We go on vacations all the time, so we must be doing well." I don't feel sad and bad for them. They must be making good money. So that was my week.
That sounds great, co-host. Sounds like you had a good, fun time with those kids.
Yeah. How about you? How was yours?
Oh man, mine was just up and down, as you know, working with small businesses, trying to get stuff. It's like I have 50 things to do. I can only do 3. But it's like I'm hustling and bustling trying to get it done. I get phone calls, hey, drop what you're doing, come do this. It's just unbelievable. So right now I'm working on some certifications for some clients from Kiewit Infrastructure. So I'm trying to get them certified so that they can be included in the major project for Kiewit. I have some other small businesses I'm doing certifications for. And I just did a workshop today with the Filipino Chamber of Commerce of Orange County. I did certifications this morning. It was pretty good. They really loved it. And I gave them a checklist of documents they need to have in order to be ready for their certification. So just that's really, it was really fun. I really had a good time.
Oh, okay. Our show last week, I got a couple phone calls afterwards, or texts afterwards, from some. In fact, we're going to have a guest that's going to complement that at the end of the month. She works for the city of Long Beach in that space on equity and diversion and inclusion. But yesterday we had Dr. Michelle Turner from USC, but she was not speaking in a capacity from the college. She was speaking about affirmative action, and she was making it very clear that everyone thinks that affirmative action is just about the college system. And so she, like we did, she's like, no, it's more than that. We have to understand that it affects far more than that. So I was telling her what we had done on Friday, and I was saying, if you start to take away everyone's rights and laws, and if they say, hey, it's not fair for you to have special circumstances for minorities in the school system, then they can say the same thing in the small business area of certification and contracts, that that's not fair, and next thing you know, we won't have that or any other areas that they've had to set up special things for the special class
Yeah.
of people. So it was, I didn't get to hear all of it because I had to jump back in class,
Yeah.
but I'm going to listen to it this weekend. But from my understanding, I got a lot of calls from that one as well that she hit on. The presentation she shared with us was right on point. So
I think
voting is the
I
key.
think we should do that show again, that affirmative action show, because we really covered some great points, and I think as we interview small businesses on this show, we should have them engage in that because they need to understand the impact and the ramification of affirmative action in the marketplace, how it might impact their business. Because some people think the affirmative action thing is only for college education. No, it's about small business and contracting too. So we gotta talk about that again. I think we did a great show. I think, was
Yeah.
it last
It
week or
ran
the week
it
before?
it was last week, but it ran 3 times this past week.
Okay, great. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think we should
I
do it
had it
again
rerun.
because we need people to start thinking that way. Affirmative action doesn't just mean a handout for folks. What it means is diversity and inclusion to make sure you're part of the process and you're getting opportunities that you can share with your community, your workers, your employees, that other people wouldn't otherwise bring to your community. People who benefit in other ways that don't have to comply with systems like affirmative action. So we need to really talk about those things. I see we have some amazing people in the chat here. We got Fernando, we got Patricia Langford. Welcome, guys. Welcome to the Business Zone. And we really appreciate you guys supporting us on this. You guys support us every week. You log in. I think I also have another person, Jolie Shriver. I haven't seen her here in the chat yet, but Jolie Shriver is from the Filipino Chamber of Commerce of Orange County. If you're here, Jolie, just put a hi, hello in the chat so we know you're here, and we thank you for joining us. And also, for those of you who are just tuning in to the Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert, we're on every Friday from 3 to 4:30, and we bring on very special guests from time to time. Now, if the show is amazing, we will extend the show until 5 o'clock, and that's how we do it. Oh, Val Williams, welcome, Val. Jolie's here as well. Thank you, Jolie. I appreciate you. And also, so Val says he's in Vegas. He's in Vegas.
Awesome.
Happy
Awesome.
to be here. Thank you, Val. So if you're just tuning in to the Business Zone, of course, you go to youtube.com to join the show. And if you want, when you go there, you can subscribe, and my co-host will tell you how to subscribe.
And so there you go on the screen. You can hit that subscribe button on our YouTube channel, which is the Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert. Just go over, scurry on over to YouTube and do that. And you can also take a picture. You can scan the QR code right there, and it takes you directly to our channel. We really are looking to grow that channel, so we need your support, and we will keep asking until we get the numbers that we need, which right now we need to at least to get up. Let's just say we need all you to subscribe. Let's how we about that. We don't even need to say what that number is. We just need you to know that we need you to subscribe.
Well, Val just went there and Val gave us a like. She subscribed and she gave us a like. So thank you for that, Val. And
Awesome.
also, if anyone else is tuning in or listening to the show, just go to youtube.com and subscribe to our platform, and also give us a like, because we're trying to get this monetized, guys, so we can bring more material, more information to you guys. My wonderful co-host will tell you guys about our anniversary that's coming up. Crystal?
So somewhere in this fall, probably around September or so, we're in fact the lady that we have coming on today, she's helping us get set up for a big kickoff for our anniversary. We will have been on air for 7 years, which is pretty miraculous for a podcast. A lot of people lose interest, and after 1 or 2 years, they're gone. So we've been consistent here every Friday afternoon at 3 o'clock for the last 7 years, bringing you some amazing content. And you can go over to our YouTube channel, and we probably have close to 600 or just under 700 videos with some. This is coaching in session. I mean, Gilbert and I are business coaches, and so we actually do teaching here on this platform. So you can go to our class and sessions, and you can pull out some amazing content on how to run your business, how to make sure your financials are in order, how to market, how to get contracts, what leadership means, what type of leadership, you name it. We didn't talk about it in the 7 years. So all you need to do is go over there and find out what you're looking for. It's just like having a coaching session with either one of us or both of us together. So, and it would cost you a whole lot more money if you do it with us on a one-on-one than it would cost you if you go over to the YouTube channel and hit that subscribe button. It's much cheaper that way than it is to actually schedule an appointment with us.
Thank you, Pat. Pat said this is the king and queen of community small business. Thank you, Pat. I've known Pat for multiple years now, and I used to teach classes at Pepperdine University in Malibu. Pat was one of my students in that class. I was teaching on entrepreneurship, so we go way back. She was amazing too, and I think she got a contract with the County of Los Angeles while she was in that class. So she did very well, man. She was amazing. And I see we have a new addition here to our chat group. This is Cynth Davis from Chicago.
Welcome,
you.
Cynthia.
Thank you, Cynthia, for joining us. Really appreciate you. And I'm telling you, man, there are a lot of business coaches out there and a lot of business consultants. And I'm not trying to be narcissistic or braggadocious about this, but Coach Crystal and I, we do a great job in helping small businesses, man. We go the extra mile to help you guys. We provide stuff to small businesses that many other small business coaches don't provide. So I'd love for you guys to continue to follow us, listen to what we do. And our special guest that's going to be coming on today, which we will introduce real shortly, she's going to tell you guys even more. She's in the marketing space, guys, and she is phenomenal. She's going to be doing our marketing for us on this business zone and also in my personal business for my company, Buchanan and Associates. So I can't wait to have her on here. Every time I talk to her, I learn something new. It's just phenomenal. So you guys are getting some goodies here today, guys, as small business and entrepreneurs.
Awesome. And Miss Patricia, if you want the program, you need to reach out to Junior Achievement. They're in Glendale. You can schedule a session, and they will. You go to their location. You have to take the kids to their location, and they'll do it. I believe it's $10 per child, but it's an awesome $10 spent for kids. I believe all children should go. Be taken over to the JA Park, Finance Park. It's an incredible experience. All right, Gilbert, we ready to have our little SmallBizPro promo?
Yes.
Commercial.
Yes.
Get this show off.
Oh yes.
with our guests.
Oh yes.
All righty. So we're gonna show you guys a little. We'll put us down here. And let's rock and roll with this.
Do you have a tool that organizes your company's paperwork and takes care of all your record keeping? Does your current record-keeping system send you 90-day alerts to remind you that your key documents are about to expire and need to be renewed? Can you find contracts and procurement opportunities in seconds from any of the 50 United States so you can grow your business? Is your business organized so that you can tell which key documents are needed to efficiently run the business? How about woman-owned, small business, or disadvantaged business enterprise certifications? Do you have a checklist of all the key documents you need to become certified? Does your current system allow you to conduct market research from multiple sources and provide you industry and market data in seconds? Well, SmallBizPro does all of that and more. SmallBizPro is the #1 business management, compliance, procurement assistance, and market research assistance tool on the market today. Download the app now and you will be amazed. It's like having 3 additional employees working for you, but you don't have to pay them. What are you waiting for?
So what are you waiting for? So Gilbert is the founder and inspiration behind Small Biz Pro. While I pull up our guest bio, you want to tell them about it, Gilbert?
Oh, for sure, guys. So Small Biz Pro is a platform that I created. What is it? It took me over 14, 15 years to develop this platform, hiring different developers and coders to do it. And we launched it about 4 or 5 years ago. It's a platform that helps small businesses become business ready, contract ready, certification ready, and nonprofit ready. So if you have a business that you're trying to grow, you're trying to develop, but you really don't know how to go about it, Small Biz Pro will help you. That's what we do. We provide a platform where you learn what documents you need to run your business. You also have access to contracts and procurement opportunities and also grants. That's what this platform is all about. It makes your life so much easier. So that's why in the commercial it says it's like having 3 employees that you don't have to pay. All right. That's what this does for you guys. So if you're interested, you let me know, put it in the chat, and I'll give you more information on that.
All righty. So let's bring on our guest. I can't find her. I have to find her. Hello.
Well, you know, we can do a live bio on her because it's like we're family.
Hello.
How are you all doing?
Doing good.
Oh, good.
Doing good, ChaCha.
We are so happy to have you here today.
Thank you. You know, it was so fun listening to you both. Crystal, with the kids, I think you figured out. I think you figured out the best abstinence program ever.
Yes.
You need to package that up and go to the Capitol Hill with that.
I tell you, I mean, you should have seen their faces. They were like, "Oh no, children are too expensive. How the heck are our parents taking care of us?"
I'm telling you, if there was a program that taught adulting, real life adulting, when I was a kid, I probably would have stayed home until I was 40.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
man.
they were not happy with being an adult. They were in tears. It was all kinds of emotions. They were like in dead silence on the way back. No chit chat, no nothing. It was just like they were processing.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll cause them to think now when they make different decisions. So it's exciting. It's exciting that you're exposing them to this. It's an amazing program, much needed. So hats off to you. And Gilbert, you know, I got to give you some kudos too here with Small Biz Pro. You know, I always share my story. When I first met Gilbert a couple years ago now, and I tried Small Biz Pro for the first time. At first, I was thinking like, okay, well, if it's going to give me extra employees and extra hands, I'm going to try this because I'm telling you, I could use about 10 more hands right now. So, but it literally did help me with organizing my back office. And right away, I was able to apply for bid opportunities that was out there, and I was awarded a bid because my paperwork was so organized. Everything was at my fingertips. I didn't have to go looking for things. And prior to integrating Small Biz Pro, when I apply for opportunities, I would have to search this file folder, search that file folder, trying to piece everything together. And then I'd be sitting at 11:59 trying to get, the proposal in, and then I miss it, and it's like, oh shoot. And then you would have thought after that I would have had everything in the same place for the next bid. So yeah, so thank you so much, Gilbert. If you all have not taken advantage of SmallBizPro, it's an amazing, amazing back office tool that will literally give you an extra office hand.
You're welcome,
So
ChaCha. You're
thank
welcome.
you.
And folks, ChaCha is an amazing consultant in the marketplace. And if this tool helps her so well, you can just imagine how it can help you, because ChaCha has pretty much everything she needs to run her business. So if that helps her, you know that this tool is very helpful.
Hey, it showed me some money.
But and for those of you that have nonprofits out there, I tell you, it's not an easy thing when you're trying to get to that deadline, and you're being interrupted,
Yeah.
and you lose your train of thought,
Yeah.
and then when you go to upload all the documents, nothing works.
Exactly. It definitely will give you that time back, so you're not waiting until 11:59 to try to submit. I'm guilty of that, but no more, no more.
That is so true. Thank you for that, ChaCha. Thank you so much.
Thank you all for having me today.
Well, we're excited because I know with all of the businesses that I consult with, the two areas, and in my book, the two areas that go together is marketing and finance. Because if you don't have the people, you don't have the finances. You have nothing to bookkeep if you have no people coming in the door.
Yes.
These are the two areas that most small businesses avoid, like the plague. They don't see how important it is to market their business or even understand the complexity of it. They think, oh, I'm going to post a few little things on Facebook, or I'm not using social media at all. I'm just going to make some flyers. I got a website. That's all I need is a website. So it is a pleasure to have you here today. So you
Thank
can
you.
first about yourself and who you are and what your business is about, and then if you can give us some tips on how we can help our small businesses improve their brand, and what is the difference between branding and marketing?
Yeah, and so that I'm so glad you mentioned about you have to have marketing, right? You have to have customers in order to be financially stable in your business. And so that's where my company comes in to help small businesses. One of the goals of California Beacons is that we want businesses to understand their marketing. Uh, we don't want business owners to continue down the path of just set it and forget it, which is what it's been for a lot of businesses in the past, small businesses, because it can be daunting. It can be scary. Social media can be scary to some people. And so we want to help business owners to get involved in their strategy so that they're not leaving it up to a marketing agency. They're not leaving the success of their phone ringing and their door swinging to the marketing company. They have an idea of, okay, these are my customers. I understand that my brand aligns with the marketing message that I'm putting out there. And so those are the things that we strive to do. Gilbert's heard me say this so many times when you ask me, what is it that my company does? Well, heck, we help business owners make the phone ring and the door swing.
I like that.
Yes. And so with education along with that. And so, yes, there is a difference between branding and marketing. And sometimes business owners don't understand the difference. They have no idea that there are these two aspects to be concerned about and have a strategy for. But first and foremost is branding. I kind of want to bring something else to the forefront here, because we are about to start looking at a completely different animal in a minute. And I don't know if you all have talked about this, of course, with your clients. I'm sure you have. But business owners that are out there listening in today, have you started thinking about, does your marketing strategy align as we head towards a recession?
Mm,
Right?
yeah.
Are you thinking that you'll be able to coast through with the same marketing strategy that you have today if things were to go awry tomorrow and you had to hit that emergency break glass? What would you do? Are you ready for that?
Mm-hmm.
This is something that every business owner should be looking at now and preparing that strategy now and starting to implement those things now, so that as we get there, experts are projecting towards the end of the year or beginning of next year, we
Yeah.
may be heading into a recession.
Yeah.
So if you know this, why wait until it happens? Get on it ahead. You've got time to get on it, realign your strategy, and make sure that you're taking time to understand who your customers are and what type of customers will emerge as this starts to come to fruition, as that recession starts to show face, right? Because your
Right.
customers will change.
Right. Right.
If go ahead.
And we just went through something similar to this in 2020 with the pandemic, right? Where the whole world turned upside down, and like Cynthia said, she needs to create a glass to break. There was a lot of glass that was there, but they wouldn't break. So for small businesses, so many of them went out of business. Actually, over 400,000 minority businesses went out of business. So we can't afford to have that again.
Uh,
Exactly, and we've been through it a couple of times now, right? So
Right.
this was 2008, 2010.
Yeah.
Was another time that we went through this, right?
Yeah.
And you
Yes.
look at the companies that emerge from that, right? Because
Yeah.
you could emerge from a recession and your sales can skyrocket, right?
mhm,
And
mhm.
so, what is the difference, right, between those companies that emerge, after a recession that recovers and they are doing better than they were before the recession?
Yeah.
What are some of the things that they do, right? They get on it ahead of time.
Yes.
They pay attention to the trends that are out there and what's happening in the market, because you can see it. We all see it. I don't know
Hmm.
if you went to the store and saw eggs, the cost of
Oh
eggs.
Lord. Oh yeah.
I'm starting to
Right.
decrease my food intake now.
$7 a dozen. That was
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Yeah, so it's, we're seeing it everywhere, right? So it's not like it's something that'll sneak up on you. You didn't know about it. It's time. It's time for you to align your strategy with what's happening in the market, right? Um, so yeah, just to go back to during that 2010 period, right? Just to give you an example of a company that did emerge during that time, one of them was Netflix, right? So what did
Mhm.
they
Mhm,
do? They were offering the CDs, the movies.
mhm,
You go to the
mhm.
mail them to your house, right? So what did they do? They aligned with Nintendo during that time, so that people that had the Wii station, right? Because so many people were playing Wii,
Mhm.
they
Mhm.
aligned and partnered with Wii so that you can then
Oh.
play those CDs on your Wii station, right? And so during these times, I want business owners to really start thinking about, okay, do I offer a product that's essential, or do I offer a product or service that's non-essential? Because if you are a product that's non-essential, you might feel this a little bit more than other businesses, and
Mhm.
getting in line with, okay, well, does it mean that I need to bring in new solutions into my offering that are essential, while I can? Or does it mean finding another organization that offers an essential solution, or even could be another non-essential solution, but together you can offer something that gives that feeling of a greater need to the customer. Does that make sense?
Oh yes,
Yeah, and I also
definitely.
think ChaCha, I know in 2008, um, prior to that, when I started my business, I had actually built an amazing networking network that I could always tap into when I needed them. So they were ambassadors, so I didn't really have to market. The first couple of years I did, and I just established this incredible. But 2008, when we had that particular recession, all of my clients at that time were in the real estate business, the mortgage business, and churches. Domino effect for the churches, because the mortgage folks was the one putting all the money and spending all the money, right? All of a sudden they lost all of theirs. So that meant I lost about 65% of my practice. And I was like, oh, what the heck? And I had to think, oh, marketing. I teach this all the time. What am I supposed to do here? Because I'm not having to do it. So what I did was I actually pivoted to say, I need to market my business to organizations, because organizations will actually find funding
Right.
in order to help these people get back on their
That's
feet,
right.
right?
That's right. That's
And
right.
so
And
that's who I started marketing to. And through this last COVID, that's where my clients were. Those are who my clients are.
yeah.
So being able to have two sets of target markets,
Hmm.
your B2C and your B2B,
That's right.
so that you can pivot when you need to pivot.
That's right. And you just said something that's very key, and that is pivot when you need to pivot.
Mhm,
It's having that emergency break glass plan available when you need to use it, right?
mhm,
And if you
mhm,
don't have it available, that's where a lot of your businesses go out of business because they're not prepared to track and readjust. And we're in a time now where you should be looking at your marketing strategy at least every 6 months. Every 6 months. This is how fast things are changing.
Yes.
mm,
If you've got Google making 600 algorithm changes, just about average a year, how do you think you're going to go through 1 year, 2 year, 3 years without ever changing your marketing strategy, right?
mhm, mhm, mhm,
So yes, you're right on, Crystal, with that. In that, yeah, the 2020 forced people into some positions, of course, that was uncomfortable. It also forced education too.
mhm,
It made people take a look at their strategies, and you found a lot of people now having to pivot, right? And what did the successful ones do? They pivot and added e-commerce
Mm-hmm.
to their website.
mhm,
Yeah.
If they were selling baked goods, they added catering with e-commerce to their site. It was so nice to see so many businesses hit that button and track and readjust so quickly, and then take their marketing into their own hands to learn, you know, how to be successful. And that's what we kind of want to talk about today, is making sure that now that we know you need a second marketing plan, a second marketing strategy, which is your recession marketing plan. Okay.
mm,
Uh,
mm.
Now let's talk about what that looks like. What do you need to pay attention to, right? So, what's the difference between branding and marketing? Do you both know the difference between branding and marketing?
Oh yes. The branding aspect of it is you branding your product to let people know that product belongs to your business and your business only. So if they see a label, a logo, or something to that effect, they can identify with it because they know it belongs to you. So you brand the product itself. You have a visual aspect where you may do promos, commercial, something like that, and you also want to, when you put your information out there, what you're trying to do is you're trying to capture the mind share of the customer so that they can think of you when they're making a decision. So that's the branding part of it. The marketing is, how you get the message out there to them. And that's where you come in, ChaCha, because you're the queen of marketing.
Well, they both align with each other, and actually, you can't have one without the other.
Exactly.
Okay, and you're absolutely right. With your branding, uh, it's the distinct, memorable identity that you want to convey to people. It's
Yeah.
what you want them to remember, like you were saying.
Mhm.
It's your logo, your tagline, your colors, your fonts, your designs,
Yeah.
everything that represents your company.
Mhm.
And yes, your marketing is okay. Now that you've got this message, how do you get that message to the public? How do you sell it?
Mhm.
How do you get them to act on it?
Right.
And that's the difference. Look at your business right now and take a look at, okay, does your logo line up on all of your literature that's out there? Is your colors that you use in your logo and on your website, do you use those colors in everything that you do?
Mm.
If you're let's say if you're a salon, and majority of your client base is women, are you using fonts that are a little bit softer? Are you using colors that are a little bit softer? Same thing with the male audience. If you're an auto repair center, you're not going to use the fluffy fonts. You're probably
Right.
not going to use the pink colors, right? You want it to look manly, right? And
Yeah.
so, if you're using, the swirly fonts and the pink colors, they're going to wonder, like, what are you going to do to my car when I bring it to you? Like, am I going to get the same car back? What the heck? Uh, so, so it's perception, right? And you want to play to the perception of your audience, right? What type of customers do you have? So this goes back to, in order to create that unique identity for your business, you need to also understand who your customers are,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Uh, who are your customers? What drives them?
Mhm.
What causes them to interact and like your picture on social media? Those are the things you want to take account to, so that you understand that your message is resonating. It matches the audience that you're catering to.
Right.
So let's put that back into recession terms, right?
Hmm.
So here's one of the biggest mistakes I see during these tough times. I saw it through COVID. I saw it, back in, the 2008 time period. Oh, and then I'm telling you too how long I've been in this business. Uh,
Right.
so, over 20 years. Uh, but um, but let's talk about this, because the mistake I see is that when we head into a recession, people cut their advertising.
Yes.
They get scared,
Hmm.
and they start thinking about, okay, well, I need to save money. And so they completely cut their advertising, or cut it down to $5, which, if it's
Hmm.
down to
Hmm.
$5, you may as well have made it zero. So, but they make this drastic cut, and what happens is, you make that drastic cut during a time that people need to see you. Because if your audience is now squirrely and a little skittish about how they're going to spend their money, and remember, you've got so many emerging personalities that are going to come out on you, it's going to
Yeah.
make your head spin.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you some of them in a second. But if you have these emerging personalities to come out, that, okay, I got to wait it out before I make that car purchase, or I now have to decrease back and stop going to the nail salon, a little bit, and maybe go once every 2 months versus once every 2 weeks. So if you now are going to be dealing with this with your audience base, right?
Hmm.
Uh, so what do you do? What are you going to do? How are you going to stay in front of these customers?
Hmm.
Because guess what? Recession's in,
Yeah.
and businesses recover.
Yeah.
And if
Hmm.
you're that business that cut your advertising, and guess what? You just disappeared, your digital from the digital space. I don't know you exist anymore.
Right.
You know, I say we kind of, you know, as with all the digital disruption out there, we have kind of the memory span of animals when it
You're
comes to
ant
that.
of
Yeah.
an ant.
And so if I'm not seeing you, if I'm not, you know, in a position to be able to purchase from you at this moment, and then I'm not seeing you either, oh, honey, you're forgotten.
Yeah.
And once I am in a position to start making purchases again, I'm gonna remember those businesses that I saw popping up in my stream. I'm gonna remember those businesses that were just there all the time. They were still there, you know. And so I'm not saying, please take note of this. I'm not saying don't pay your light bill in the business to keep, you know, your marketing going. Okay.
Right.
What I'm
Right.
saying is you have to evaluate your marketing strategy. And this is a great time to realign. Look at everything you're spending on. Chances are you're using multiple solutions. Evaluate those solutions. Which ones are driving you the return on your investment? Which
Right.
ones are driving you the most sales? If you've got five solutions that you're using, and one of them is driving you the most sales, and you've got one over here to the side that's just hanging around doing you nothing, but you're paying $700-800 a month to have this service. Well, you might want to take that $800 and drop that, or repurpose those $800 into the solution that's working for you, right?
Chacha, I've heard over the years that marketing is very important for you to focus on your marketing because it's a percentage of your budget. And some folks would say that the percentage of the budget or the revenue that you want to look at is anywhere from 5% to 40%, depending on the type of business you're in. Is that correct?
Yeah, so you're right on with that. And yes, you want to make sure that you're paying attention to that and that you know what's driving sales and revenue into your business. Because if you don't know, it's the quickest way to go broke. Marketing can be the most expensive thing you spend on for your business, and so you want to make sure that you're you're spending, and it's driving dollars back into your business,
Right.
right?
Right.
So yeah, so when we look at the recession and the branding, what I want you to take away from this portion is there's so many things you can do to stay in front of your customers without increasing your budget during the recession. You don't have to cut everything off at the knees. Give you a few examples, right? Is you can stay on Facebook, if you're selling products, you can get on Facebook Marketplace. Facebook Marketplace is free.
Yeah.
It just takes your time to do it, right?
And and
Yeah.
I think this is a good point for me to interject a little bit, Chacha, because folks, what she's saying is true. It's amazing. I never used to use Facebook or Google.
Oh boy.
I never used any of those for marketing or anything. And when Chacha came into my business and she started saying, "What? You're not using any of these? What are you doing?" So she start marketing for me, and she start, man, I'm getting so much response right now. Like when you go to Google, the Google marketing, you see so many responses. People are checking out my website. I'm going, wow, I've been missing this all along.
I don't know how you were existing. I don't know how you were existing, or how
It's
people
a
know.
head shake. It's a head shaker.
Thank goodness for the business zone.
I don't follow that same principle.
I know. You would think after 7 years, Gilbert would have followed your lead, Crystal. I don't know what's going on. It's flipping over here.
See, the thing is, I used to get my contracts just by networking connections and all of that, but that's not enough. You got to market also, because I find now that people are calling me, people I don't even know. They're saying, "Hey, I saw your ad on the Google marketing ads," or they said, "Hey, I saw your website and it looks interesting, so I want to find out more." So yes, guys, what ChaCha is saying, trust me, it works because it worked for me.
Well, and these are things that everybody can do. This is what I want business owners to not be scared of,
Yeah.
not be afraid to jump in and roll up your sleeves and understand your marketing strategy, and and know that, okay, hey, I can ride this through, and I can stay in front of my customers, and know that when this thing passes, that I'm going to be in a great position to not only bring my current customers back, but grab new customers. If you're on Facebook Marketplace is free, right? And then let's add into, there's tools out there now that can help you. I have so many clients who say, well, I'm not good at writing content. I need help. I don't know what to say. Well, my darlings, AI has fixed that. And so,
For sure, for
yes,
sure.
right. And so now there's tools like Chat GPT out there. How many of you have used or heard of Chat GPT? Oh, see, there we go. There we go. And so that's a game changer for your business. Granted, there's a paid subscription, and then there's a free one. But even just starting out, getting your feet wet in AI, give it a try. And plug in a sentence and say, hey, what's the best way for me to mention that I'm having a sale this weekend? And just know that whatever, the AI bots send back to you, and they're usually pretty good with the things that they send back, but just know you have to tweak it because they are bots. Right. And they don't have empathy. They have no emotion. They don't have a heart. They're like the Tin Man on the Wizard of Oz. So, and the last thing you want is for your customers who are already going through, feeling a crunch and feeling, the tough times that are coming. The last thing you want to do is make them feel like you don't have empathy.
Right.
So just
Yeah.
make sure that you tweak whatever it is that the bots spit out for you, but gives you a great way to constantly have content to talk about. So now that goes back to, now you can be on Facebook Marketplace. You can be in these different Facebook groups, because now you can ask a question every other day or once a week. Hey, what do you think about this? Or is there anyone out there that's looked for a tax preparer that doesn't charge $1 million to prepare your taxes? Anything, you can now start conversations. And that's one of the keys that's going to help you stay in the forefront of people's mind as they go through these tough times, is you're not just coming to me and asking me to spend some dollars with you. You're coming to me and you're showing empathy, and you're showing the human emotion behind the machine, and you're giving me knowledge.
Yes.
You're helping me with something, right? You're giving me a reason to keep coming back to you, kind of like the business zone. I love it. And so figure out how you can continue to educate your customer base without selling them something,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Uh,
And Gilbert, here's something. I was in the alley today downtown, and I'm very prolific on Facebook. I post everything. And ChaCha, a number of years ago, I kind of switched over from my actual business name to me as the personality. And so
you're the
I
brand.
I I- I'm a brand now. So I was in the alley. This lady stopped me and go, "Wait a minute." And she saw me, and then she saw all the kids. She goes, you got that academy, the business thing that's happening this summer, right? And I went, yeah. She goes, I was trying to get my kids in there this
No.
summer. I couldn't, nobody would answer my phone call. How do I get, oh my God. And so she was we just walked right into each other. She looked me in the face. So it works, Gilbert.
Yeah.
That's why I'm always on Facebook. I'm always posting, and I have a number of entities, so it really helps. But I'm my brand, and you have a major following, because when they see me, they're like, well, where's Gilbert?
Yeah.
Always.
Well,
But they
you all
can't
come
find you
hand in
online,
hand.
do you?
Hand in hand.
But they can't find him online.
Oh, that's gonna change for him. Don't
Yeah,
worry.
that's
Oh
gonna
my
change
gosh,
because
kicking and
now
screaming.
now we got ChaCha, so it's gonna change.
Kicking and screaming. It's
Yeah.
okay. I'm gonna teach him how to use his phone. It's okay. Uh, so there's so many uh, free portals out there to help you, even if you do have to make some cuts to your marketing. Cut with purpose, cut with
Mhm.
intention, right? Just don't do random cuts. I need to save $500. Boom. Make sure you're looking at those KPIs and at your return on investment, okay? Because you can fill the gap with the free resources that are out there, such as the Facebook Marketplace, utilizing your Facebook page and marketing to your followers on your Facebook, on your Instagram. There's even a new one now, Threads. Are you
Yeah,
on Threads,
Yeah.
Crystal?
I've heard of
I
that.
haven't got the threads yet, but I know they got where did they got over in 3 days? They got over 100 million subscribers, and Twitter is a little nervous right about
Wouldn't
now.
you be?
Because the disruptor is in place.
And yes, and right, and here we go. You look at for the longest time they didn't necessarily have anybody competing against them in that space. And so here's the interesting thing about Threads is that Threads is pretty much that Instagram following, that Instagram group, and now
Right.
they're bringing them up into that thread space, right? Because it's not tweet, it's that thread space,
Thread
right?
space, right.
Because when you start looking at who's really spending money.
Yeah, right. That space, and I wasn't, and I'm I've kind of done a test, beta test, and most of my followers are on on Facebook. So I'm kind of, my gardening site is over on Instagram, and I get a following over there. But most of everybody, but with Threads, that could probably help me grow that. Help me grow my Insta site, my IG site, because I use all AI. If it ain't GPT, I'll just go AI. Give me a title, give me a description, give me whatever I'm asking for. It's like Google. Is Google my new best friend?
And next time I see you, you're gonna have a AI robot sitting beside you. Uh, but yeah, you're absolutely right. This is the day and age that we're in. Goodness, we're hedging towards 10G
Right.
for
Yeah,
for the sake
that's
of
true.
things. So digital is emerging. We're in the midst of a fourth industrial revolution. Things aren't going to turn back. you
Right.
know
No.
and
Right.
if you're just now seeing those changes starting to happen, but what do I always say, you're about 20 years behind. You got a whole lot of catch up to do.
Yeah.
And so yeah, so just giving you a few more free resources, like Crystal said, it got her through in 2008 recession. Your network, remember this, your network is your net worth.
That's right. That's
Right?
right.
So
Yeah.
if you
That's
were to
Yeah.
go through your phone right now, could you go through and identify some business partners in your phone that you can reach out to and talk to at any time and say, hey, let's collaborate on this. Let's collaborate on this event. Let's collaborate, right? And that's exactly what Crystal did in 2008. And look what happened.
yeah.
Look where she is
Hmm.
now, just immersed and skyrocket, past that 2008, 2010 recession period, right?
Right.
And so you can do that too. You have to be ready, though. You have to identify and, be honest about it. This is where we are. This is what's going on in the market. Deal with it. Deal
Yeah.
with it.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Don't be afraid. Just say to yourself, put this in your affirmations. I'm going to be one of those businesses that emerge prosperous and successful from this. Right?
That's
Uh,
right.
so yeah. So just a couple other things. Your website. that is the least expensive marketing spend is your website. I say it all starts where it begins. Okay, here's why I say this is one of my ChaCha isms. It all starts. I got a lot of them too. Don't worry.
Yeah, ChaCha-ism.
It all starts where it begins. Okay, and so think about this. I've got a statistic here I want to share with you. Just hang on.
Okay, no problem.
So Forbes this year put out some statistics. Okay, and one of the statistics they put out is that 93% of global traffic comes from Google. Okay, and 33 billion visitors come from YouTube, the second most visited website. Now let's go a little further. Q2 of 2022, just last year, 58.99% of all traffic came through mobile devices.
Wow.
Okay, so now when we start thinking about it all starts where it begins. When you're looking for something, what do? You go to Google, Yahoo, Bing,
and you
wherever
search.
you go, right? You start somewhere. That's the beginning, right? And so if majority of people are starting at the search level, whether they're in their car and they say, what's the closest, restaurant to me, right? Well, it's Google Map, right? So it starts there, and they're going to find what next? Your website, your landing page, your reviews, all those different things, right? But mainly your website or landing page. So if you know that this is where people are starting for the most part, why wouldn't you invest in that space? You take, if you've got a brick and mortar business, right, you put a lot of emphasis on teaching your staff, right? When people walk through the door, make sure you straighten your shirt and smile and put on the happy chipper voice, because people make their first impression of you in that first 7 seconds of meeting you, right?
Yeah.
What happens when someone comes to your digital salesperson, which is your website, and you only have, a couple of seconds to impress them, and it goes less now than that 7 seconds of face to face. You now have a couple seconds, because if they go 6 seconds and they can't find what they're looking for, I'm out. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya.
Never coming back.
Never coming back. It's got to be some kind of catalytic event to make me come back at that point. And so, because it's so easy for people now to just click a button, quarter of a keystroke away, I can find somebody else. I have options now. I have more options than I can think of. So why don't you focus on the first place people land? Why don't you focus on your website? Another great thing you can do for your website is you can put a lead magnet, right? Because you want to start collecting information about your customers. You can't just rely on your analytics. You can't just rely on, me telling you 500 people were there. Now we see what happens in different things when you can see a picture of yourself and someone saying, no, there was 50,000 people there, and it looks like it was 5. So, but this is a way for you to start collecting data and start understanding who your customers are. Put a lead magnet on your website. Offer them something for coming to your website, right? That's that first thank you. Hey, thanks for visiting us at the Business Zone. Receive 10% off our monthly membership, for business support, or whatever it is. There's products and services that you offer in your business that you can offer an incentive and a thank you for someone coming to your virtual store that's open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, right? Same thing. Look at your website and figure out, in the home page of my website, am I giving people enough content? Am I giving them information above the fold? Above the fold is What do I see in that screen without
Mm-hmm.
moving the page? That's above the fold,
Mm.
right? What
Okay.
am I seeing in the above the fold that will make me want to scroll down and know more about you? Right? So then, as I'm scrolling into your page, are you giving me enough information and details about your business to make me want? As someone said, they get cookies. Uh, are you giving me enough details to make me want to stay and do more? I recommend looking at your page and get yourself a YouTube video on your page. Google owns YouTube, right? Uh,
Yeah.
so that gives you additional relevance, right? In your search engine optimization. Another thing is the keywords. Another thing that's free. Put in
Mm-hmm.
keywords in your website to help you show up in the Google search. If you're a DIYer and you're doing it yourself, make sure that you're plugging in those keywords to help you be found in a search. Your on-page SEO, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's your website. Now we talked about the networking, and I like to call it executive networking, because you stop relying on your team to go out and network and bring customers in. Nobody knows your business better than you do. You're the best
True.
salesperson for your business. It's great what they do. Let them complement what you do, and go find those co-partnerships, those
Ex-
co-brands to support you through a recession, right? Um,
mm-hmm.
okay, we talked about social media. I told you about the threads. If Instagram's your audience that you cater to, you definitely want to get on threads. If you if your audience is Twitter, I'm seeing that the chatter that people are talking about is the Twitter folks are kind of I don't know if I want to do that, but it's a new social portal. Doesn't hurt to be there. It's free.
Yeah.
Don't you like free 99?
I love free 99.
Hey,
At least,
what
at least
business
right now,
owner
White.
doesn't like free 99?
Right.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
so
So, Cha, what about LinkedIn? How valuable is LinkedIn to a
The
business owner,
marketing.
and to marketing?
yeah, so LinkedIn is very important. Again, you're also a brand. You're a business, and you also have a brand yourself. So yes, you do want to have your LinkedIn profile, because as you're doing co-branding, that's the first place people go. They
Yeah.
want to see who you know, who you're
Hmm.
friends with. I want to see if you know 500 people that I know,
Yeah.
or so it's kind of like that affirmation, right? People are looking for affirmation, and it gives them
Mm-hmm.
that security and that warm feeling that, okay, well, Crystal and Gilbert knows ChaCha. All right,
Hmm.
maybe I'll give her a shot. Maybe I'll accept her message to connect. And so
Mm-hmm.
yes, you do want to be there, and depending on the type of business you are, you definitely can find leads. You can make connections. A great place to advertise, if you're an attorney, for example,
Mm-hmm.
if you're a business that offers, a professional service. LinkedIn is a more professional social portal, and so you're likely to make more connections, on LinkedIn.
Okay.
So I recommend, even if you don't set up a business page on LinkedIn, at least set up your personal business profile on LinkedIn.
It's amazing. I get so many requests for teaming or partnering on LinkedIn. It's unbelievable, and I think it's because I have over 2,500 what do you call it? People that I'm linked with on
Connections.
there.
Yeah.
Connections,
Yeah,
right?
connections. Yeah.
So I just get these every day. Some of these folks I don't even know. And that's another thing that, as business owners, we want to do. We want to kind of double check, the kind of people we're aligning ourselves with, because some of those folks are probably, they probably don't have our good business in their intentions. They probably want to get over in some kind of way. So That's some.
And I think you can vet those through. I know I have almost close to 3,000 followers on LinkedIn, but LinkedIn actually helps elevate you. They score you
Yeah.
as you're in there, whether or not you're a lead, depending on how much content that you're adding to their site. And pages you have, and how they even help you in making sure that is laid out pretty nicely. Although some people don't exactly have all the real pertinent information there, or it's dated, just like a website. You need to go to your LinkedIn and update it and let people know what you're doing currently, so that it stays relevant. I think just like a website.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And like Patricia said here in the chat, it's a great place to network. You're looking to level up your networking. What a great place to start. So, go through your phone and connect with all those people on LinkedIn, all those business partners. Yes, Gregory, you're right. Social proof. For folks that have e-commerce, there are apps out there that provide social proof. I always recommend those on the e-commerce side of things. They're a lot more valuable on the e-commerce side because we're creatures of habit. We tend to get into the bandwagon effect without even knowing we're getting into the bandwagon effect. And when we see that other people are doing something, we tend to want to not miss out. And so yes, Gregory, you are right. Social proof is very valuable as well. What LinkedIn does as well, it also gives that social proof because it's saying, I know this person or this person knows me, which is, it could be people that Gregory. And so it provides that connection. So absolutely right. Yes. I'm glad we're talking about this. Please jump in, share, what you're doing, what you're using. Let's make this collaborative. Let's talk.
So ChaCha, you want to tell our audience a little bit more about your company, California Beacons, because some of them probably never heard of it and some of them have heard of it. So tell them a little bit about it, because you have a special story that I love so much. I love you to tell it.
Oh, that one. So gosh, I started California Beacons. What is it now? Almost 7 years ago. I have been in corporate America for 20 years, and I was driving home one day, and I'm a foodie. So I love going out to dinner and visiting different restaurants, every time I go out. Just spread the wealth, spread the love. And so I was on my way home, and I drove down. I don't know if you all are familiar with 2nd Street in Long Beach, Belmont Shore. I was driving home, and I saw all of these out of business signs and for lease. And I said, what the heck is going on here? These are great places that have great food. Why are they going out of business? And so I went home, and I took weeks, and, I was just kind of scouring, researching and doing, my research in the market. And about a couple of weeks later, I was coming home again and saw it again, and I said, okay, I got to take a different route next time. So I'm not just looking at these out of business signs every day. It's driving me crazy. And so I came home a couple of weeks later. I told my spouse, I said, sit down, honey, because I got some news for you. And I said, I'm quitting my job.
Like, oh my God.
and if you could have seen the look I got, it kind of started like the deer in headlights at first, and then it was like, okay, wait, you're gonna walk away from your 6-figure career for what now? And I said, because I want to help small businesses. I'm gonna help small business owners. And I'm going to help them keep their doors open, make the phone ring and the door swing. And it was just silent. It was silent. And so I said, trust me, it's gonna work. It's gonna be successful. I'm gonna help businesses. And so I said, tomorrow just to prove to you tomorrow, I'm going and knocking on the mayor's door tomorrow, and I'm going to tell him that I've got some stuff to help small businesses in Long Beach.
Okay,
And
yeah.
so it was quiet. It was quiet in my
was
house.
all cricket.
For a
It was
while
all
after
crickets,
that.
huh?
Yeah, it was crickets for a minute, and I was kind of scared, like, oh my gosh, am I making the right decision? But I had to go back into that gut feeling,
Yeah.
and I said, I've been doing this a long time, advertising and marketing a long time. I've worked with companies, larger Fortune companies, that take business in so many senses away from those small businesses. You've got big box retailers, and small businesses can't compete when they're across the street from a big box retailer, right? And so, in addition to that, there's resources that the Fortune companies have that a small business, one, likely can never afford, don't even know it exists, or don't even know how to go after it, right? And so that's what I wanted to bring to the market. I was just at that beginning stage of just being amazed with beacon technology, NFC stickers, and all the NFC technology. That was that early stage of reaching customers at the right time, the right place, with the right message, and where? On their mobile devices, right? And so that's where California Beacons marketing was born. And yes, by the way, I did go and knock on the mayor's door.
And
did he answer?
And well, I went and knocked on the door, and the receptionist, I think she was, I'm not sure if she was the receptionist or what her role was, but she was behind the glass. And I said, I'm here. I need to talk to the mayor. And she just kind of looked at me like, what? Like, do you even have an appointment? I'm like, no, I don't, but I don't need one. Okay.
I'm a small business. I don't need one.
Yeah, this is important.
I got the solution.
I ended up getting the meeting scheduled with his deputy, and I was able to share with him, technology that I felt like would revitalize Long Beach. And so, so it was amazing. But here's the thing that that was so prevalent, that the sticks even today, and it was in my research. I looked at in that city, there was 55,000, give or take, registered businesses.
Wow.
And I said to myself, if I were to visit a new business every single day for the next 20 years, I wouldn't even scratch the surface of how many businesses are there. And that's just one city.
Wow.
Right. So think about, you're a business owner, and you're not just catering. You're not just focused on one city, right? You're focused on LA. You're focused on, Orange County. For the folks in Chicago's huge. Yeah. You got the south side, the north side, the west side, right? So in knowing that there's all these businesses that have no clue who you are, and then let's say we head towards a recession, they really aren't going to have a clue who you are. So that's where it's important to make sure that you amp up your branding, okay? Because branding will help you get through a recession.
Okay? I love that.
So what else do I have for you here? I said,
now you have a couple of promotions, don't you, that you are offering and doing? You got something going on right now that could help small businesses?
Yeah. So I have a resource for all of your folks that are on here today. It's I'm always trying to make sure that I leave you with something that's gonna help you start thinking about how to get more sales.
Greg, free stuff.
Yeah,
free 99.
See, look at that. See, look, I give the real free 99. Okay. I'm committed. I'm past the crickets in the house stage. Look, I can give $3.99 now. Uh, so no, but here's what I have for all of your attendees today is uh, it's a PDF that I'll send over to you that you can share.
Mhm.
But
Okay.
it's to help drive sales from your reviews.
Oh.
Really?
Okay. So
Mm.
something you may not have thought about.
Mm.
It's if you're not responding to reviews with an incentive offer, you're leaving money on the table.
Mm, mm, mm.
So think about this. Uh, Someone will write a review about you 100 times faster than they'll write you a bad review before they write you a good one,
That's
right?
Right,
true.
right,
So if
right, right.
somebody takes time out of their busy day, the million things we got going on, and I write you a review, make sure you thank me for that review. Make sure that you come in and you recognize me, address me by my name, thank me for the review, tell me what it means to your business, and then close that out with make sure the next time you stop by, you try our chili cheesesteak. Or hey, when you come back again, make sure to ask us about the pink lemonade that we offer now. You
Mm.
can even plug it in and say, hey, when you come back, join our loyalty program because you get 10% off every visit. Okay, so when we talk about how do we stay in front of customers, how do we add that social proof, how do we give that additional push during during a rough market cycle that we're heading into. Well,
Mm.
that's just another way. Take care of your current customers. They love you. Because if I don't love you, chances are I'm not going to write a review about
That's
you.
true.
But
Probably.
so so
That's true.
if they love you and they're jazzed about it, man, bring them in. Give them more. Take care of them.
Oh.
Okay. So I have a PDF with some examples of how you can respond to reviews. So it's about I think it's about 10 templates to give you some ideas of ways to respond to your reviews.
Wow.
So that's one thing. The other thing is, we always have a promotion going. If there's anyone in need of help with your website, your digital presence, we do have a promotion going that we can offer you 2 free months of hosting for your website. Um, just let us know. We're here to help. Let us know how we can help.
Well, I want to add something else to this, folks. I mean, of course, those of you who are just tuning in, you are watching the podcast of the Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert. We're on every Friday from 3 to 4:30. And I just want to add to this also that what ChaCha did for my business in terms of helping with marketing and all of that, she did a little video, guys. How many of you guys have a video for your website and for your business? How many of you guys have one of that? Well, she did a little video for me. What was it, a 30-second or 60-second video, ChaCha?
It was actually
10
10.
seconds. She did a 10-second video, guys, which she posted, and you posted on Google marketing page. And folks, believe me, that works because when they see your website and the business name, they're trying to learn about your business, they click on that video. The video tells them a lot about the products and services you offer. So that's really key. And, ChaCha, her company does a great job with that.
Hey, Gilbert, I just noticed Gregory mentioned about he's in the finance
Yeah,
industry and tiptoeing on the reviews.
yeah.
Yes, you want to look at the business you're in and be careful with that. You don't want, if you're in the financial industry, of course, you don't want to be offering, $100 off or things like
Yeah,
that. Uh, but uh, but I think you're able to mention other solutions to your
yeah,
customers.
yeah.
So if you're I don't know what kind of finance you do, but let's say you're in accounting and you offer uh, bookkeeping and tax preparation. just and someone writes your review for tax preparation, you can let them know that, oh, hey, if you're ever in need of bookkeeping services, just let us know.
All right.
So just introducing customers to your additional services and solutions that you have. Does that make more sense, Gregory?
Well, he said not the reviews, it's the gifting. He has to be careful with the gifting.
Yes. Good point.
So I put your information there. I've also asked everyone to reach out to us if they're interested in your promos. You guys just need to mention that you heard these promos on the Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert. But I got a better one. Before we give that out, I want them to subscribe to the Business Zone.
So Crystal's going to hold the review PDF hostage until you subscribe. She wants to make sure you come back next week.
Right,
I love it.
You heard it here on the Business Zone.
So
right,
make sure you guys
right.
subscribe and like our platform, guys. When you go to YouTube and you see the Business Zone, and we also have lots of shows. Remember, we've been on the air for over 7 years, so we've got over 500-600 videos that you guys can go to, and these are videos that can help your business. We've got videos on leadership, on management, affirmative action, buy black in the community, how long your black dollars stay in the community before it disappears, all of that stuff. So women-owned businesses, women certification, women empowerment, financials, you name it, guys. All of those videos are there.
True that. It's actually, I think the last count was somewhere around 693. We might be at 700.
Woo! That's amazing. We got to archive that. Right, ChaCha?
That's right. That's right. When I look at you all have, I think it's 700 videos loaded. I'm like, man, you all are way busy. That's awesome, though. I love it. Like, a business owner can jump into, all of your previous podcasts and just have like a university of knowledge there.
For sure.
My goodness. So
before we lock it
amazing
down
stuff.
and it becomes a membership site.
That's right. That's right.
So right now,
better get it while you can, while it's $3.99.
Right. It's $3.99. But it's so funny because ChaCha, Gilbert, and I, we both have been in this space, entrepreneurial space, and business coaching space, and we love what we do. So we love teaching. When we don't have a guest, that's what we do. We just pull a topic out of the hat and say, hey, we can talk on this. And so and that's our versatility, and that's the uniqueness of us. And because we do love what we do, and not only that, we have a passion for helping, just like yourself, helping the small business owner. And we do know the minority small business owner needs just that little extra bit of help.
Yeah. It's just real quick, Crystal, something, you mentioned, it makes me think about my days as a radio personality. So I used to be a radio personality out in Chicago, and 20 years ago. And so one of the things that back then I was focused on, and this is that key thing that drives a lot of strategy for me today. And that key thing was back then in radio, right? I'm sitting in a room by myself and talking to, the invisible people on the other side of the microphone, right? And so the one thing I had to always focus on every single time I opened the microphone was, how do I get people here? How do I get them to listen longer? How do I get them to come back again? How do I get them to tell somebody else? Right? Translates into marketing today, right? With our small businesses, with just business in general, marketing is, those key things. Always keep that in your mind when you're thinking about, how do you grow revenue? How do you grow those sales? How do you get people to your business, to your virtual store? How do you get them to stay longer on your page? How do you get them to How do you get them to spend more money? how do you get them to come back again, and how do you get them to tell their friends?
Yeah,
I get you.
exactly. And in today's world on YouTube, liking you, because that makes a big difference in the YouTube and the Google world. So you guys not only just subscribe, but also hit that the like button if this is a topic. So we've gotten quite a few comments in the chat. So we're gonna ask you. Some of you are on Facebook, and some of you are on YouTube. Just hit that like button if you liked it. And if you're on Facebook, just jump off of Facebook and go on over to your YouTube channel and do the same thing. We really, truly are growing, wanting to grow. And ChaCha is actually, we're going to enlist ChaCha to help us grow the numbers so that we can start monetizing this station, this platform, because we do have over 700 videos of content.
Yes. That can help a whole lot of business owners.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So what a team. So it's been great. My gosh.
Yeah.
This is awesome. We are actually all consultants for the Los Angeles Urban League in our own capacity.
Yeah.
ChaCha does a workshop for the Urban League. I do workshops and I do some coaching for the financial piece of everyone's business. So we have a love for what we do, because it's not always sometimes a little challenging in that space. but I do know that to change the economics of us in the Black and brown community, especially in the Black community, is all about us being successful entrepreneurs, doing business the correct way, making sure we're prepared for whatever disasters are about to come at us. And whether it's a pandemic or it's a financial recession, whatever it is, there's always a crisis. So it's just as ChaCha said, be ready for whatever it is. And be ready before it even gets here. So it really won't affect you when it does come. You'll be ready to pivot.
That's true. That's true.
Any parting words there besides what I just said?
You summed it up so well. I need you on my team now. Come on. I'm going to recruit you from the business zone. I think
we're gonna have to have her sign an NDA.
Or I think we can all do a workshop, an online workshop together.
Yeah.
And we all benefit.
Oh yeah, I like that. I like that.
The Three Musketeers. I love it.
Yes, I like that.
It's just, Christo, I can't say it enough, and I really want business owners to pay attention that we are hedging towards a recession. And that can be scary for a business owner. And so now is the time to take a look at the marketing strategy and make the necessary adjustments you need to make to prepare for that, so you're able to ride it out with ease, and still make sure that your presence is you have a strong foothold in the market with your branding and your presence, because as the recession comes to an end and people start emerging and start spending again, you want them to know that, hey, I'm still here with you. I was here through the storm, and I'm here with the sunshine. And so, think about, what education you can start offering to your customers, during a time if they're not spending as much. Make sure your branding is aligned. Make sure your messaging resonates with your customers. Get out there and do some executive networking. We talked about LinkedIn being one, right? And just be prepared. Don't wait for the crises to come to try to hit the emergency brake glass.
Yeah, I agree with you, and it will come. It is always going to be something lurking on the horizon. So you should just be ready for that. And I always, like I said at the top of this conversation, is the marketing, because you have to bring the customers through the funnel in order and get them to purchase your product or your services. And then when it comes down to forecasting for your business, what that revenue will look like in the coming months and year, it's all about, it starts with the marketing. You can't forecast without the marketing.
Yeah.
So she and I work in the same space. Only just I'm on the back side, she on the front side. But without either one of us, your business is going to be in trouble.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
I try to make sure my clients know before they get to Crystal that they know what their marketing strategy is. They know what it's going to cost. They know what they're expecting to get back in return, and
Right.
they know how they're going to get their money, how they're going to make sales and drive revenue. So
Exactly.
yeah,
And Greg says his, and we're going to close out. Greg says, stock market recession. We're already in a recession
there you
on the
go.
personal income versus expenses, and personal recession. When living costs increases outpace your income gains. Now, Greg is a financial literacy and financial expert. So for those of you that need to get a hold of that, you can reach out to Gregory. Gregory, you're going to put your information in the chat room. Lifesaver, I think it is there somewhere, but put that there. So these are the people that can help you change what the picture looks like, and instead of being bleak, it can be bright and
That's
shiny.
That's
right.
right.
That's right.
That's right. Like my shiny forehead. That's how it's gonna be. Your future can be as bright and shiny as my forehead, guys.
So
You need
it's
a
been
tissue to dab it a little bit.
right.
Yeah,
You need a makeup
I
artist.
need makeup in here. Where's my makeup crew?
Makeup. But ChaCha, you've been awesome. I am definitely looking forward to us working together. One, to help us get ready for our anniversary, and to help us grow our network and our followers, so that we can start monetizing, to be reinvested in all that we invested. and let's see what else we can do together, because I think we're a nice combination here.
I love it. That's so exciting.
Can't wait, ChaCha. Can't wait.
Well, thanks so much for having me. I hope everyone was able to take away some valuable nuggets today, to help you in your business marketing strategy. So, feel free also, if you have any questions or you're stuck on something, trying to, figure out your break glass, feel free. Don't hesitate to ask me any questions.
Val says great conversation, and I think Cindy or Cynthia is just completely jazzed, and so she's all pumped up and ready to go.
Thanks, Val.
So
Cynthia.
yeah, Cynthia and Patricia, she's saying great
Patricia,
conversation.
awesome.
So
Gregory,
so thank you.
everybody's been great. We should do this more often.
Oh, for sure.
I say so. We should bring you in on a regular, man. Regular.
Remember, guys, we put the email addresses in the chat. You got ChaCha's email in there and the name of her company. Coach Crystal, her email is there as well as mine. And my phone number is also in there too. So if ever you guys want to reach out, please let us know and don't hesitate.
And this is unlike Zoom. You don't lose the chat just going over to YouTube. And it's already there in YouTube or Facebook.
That's
so we want to thank you guys, and we're going to sign off, and we're going to wish you guys a happy weekend. Be safe out there.
Make sure to hydrate.
Gilbert,
Make sure to hydrate.
Yes, hydrate, because it's going to be hot. And if you're outside of the state of California, you guys it's brutal out there. So be careful out there. Make sure you're staying in the cool, in the air conditioning.
All right.
All right, Gilbert, you want to take us out? ChaCha, don't leave just yet.
I'll take you guys home. And next week, guys, remember 3 p.m. from 3 to 4:30 every Friday on the Business Zone. You can go to youtube.com and just type in the Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert, and you'll see us there ready and waiting for you. And I want to thank you all for tuning in today. I want to thank our very special guest. Want to thank my co-host for being such an amazing co-host, and we're out.
As a small biz pro, I saw we roll, using procurement, program, and control. As a small biz pro, I saw we grow, using procurement, program, and control. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur.